Straight ahead on Valley News Live at 10, an update in the case involving the deadly stabbing of a Fargo teen this past summer.
We'll update you on the alleged assault in Grand Forks that involved the SWAT team and the bomb squad.
And as the temperatures plummet, we'll tell you what you need to do to weatherproof your home. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Welcome to Valley News Live at 10. I'm Stacey Van Dyke.
And I'm Justin Betty. Law enforcement's use of force has made headlines across the country following the death of George Floyd last year. And in the days, weeks, and months since, police departments everywhere have reevaluated their policies and tactics when dealing with suspects, including Moorhead Police.
Today, Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley got a first-hand look at the new tool the department is adding to their officers' belts to help keep both themselves and you safe.
I've been doing this for 21 years. I wish we would have had this back then.
It's not always the end of the story once officers put handcuffs on someone.
Unfortunately, I run into it quite often. They're still kicking. They're still trying to headbutt, bite, spit. They will not stop fighting. That is the instance where this tool is going to be utilized.
It's called the wrap, and it breaks down into 3 different parts and is only used on the most uncooperative of suspects.
Instead of having to fight multiple times to get them either to the hospital or to jail, this is one time and the struggle is over.
The first option for officers is to restrain a suspect's ankles, something Castoris says will stop 95% of struggles in their tracks.
Go try to kick, try to separate your legs. If he's continuing to fight, that's when we would move on to these next steps.
Which brings us to steps 2 and 3, placing restraints on the suspect's legs and around the chest.
Now we can transport him, put him in the back of a car, take him to the hospital, take him to the jail, and he's not going to be able to fight with us. He's not going to be able to cause any kind of disruption.
Castoris says the implementation of the wrap isn't in response to any specific incidents locally or nationally. Instead, saying there's now a larger emphasis in law enforcement to safely de-escalating unpredictable situations.
We deal with a lot of career criminals that they know the system and they're going to push as much as they possibly can. In any way we can find to keep everybody safe, we're obviously going to put a priority on that.
In Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Moorhead police are the first in the valley to have the wrap, saying for now each officer has ankle straps in their vehicle, with only 3 of the large wraps in rotation right now.
Police say if the department uses the large wraps consistently, they'll purchase one for each officer. All right, switching gears to weather now. We saw those dangerously low temperatures last night, and as First Alert storm forecaster Summer Schnellbach is here to tell us we're not done with those just yet.
Yeah, that's right. It's a First Alert weather day, not just today, not just tomorrow, but today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All First Alert weather days for this bitterly cold air that's going to be sticking around. In fact, we broke a record this morning in Fargo. Depending on which way you look at it, December 29th record low was 22 degrees below zero back in 1990, with records dating back to 1891. However, somebody somewhere back in 1887 measured a temperature in the Fargo area of 36 degrees below zero. That's before the official record keeping began by the National Weather Service. So this morning we fell to 26 below in Fargo. Right now we're at 5 below. We've actually been warming up just a couple of degrees over the last couple of hours with cloud cover. That's moved in. We're still at 9 below in Grand Forks, 6 below in Jamestown and in Fergus Falls, 7 below in Bemidji. Devil's Lake is under clear skies right now, meaning much colder as well. 20 degrees below zero. And look at these dangerous wind chills that continue. Feels like 45 below right now in Langdon, 40 below in Devil's Lake. And Justin, Stacy, it's going to remain bitterly cold. We'll have a look at the next couple of days, just how cold our mornings are going to be and when we have our next chance for some snow.
All right, thank you, Summer.
And keep that Valley News Live Storm Team weather app handy so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and you can download it for free. And with the cold snap continuing through the week, there are some things homeowners should be aware of. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor has some tips on how to keep your home prepared for winter's chill.
With winter in full swing, the cold weather and snow can create challenges for homeowners. But what are some things you should look out for?
Ice damming, so that's something people got to be familiar with and taking a look at.
An ice dam is when snow on the roof turns to ice, and when it melts, that water can seep into your home.
It's going to be really, really problematic. You can get a lot of interior damage that way, insulation damage, sheetrock damage.
Most houses in the area are typically built to withstand a certain amount of snow on its roof, but those that aren't, the weight can also be problematic.
Excessive snow, especially on a flat structure or an area where it could bank up real high, can be a concern for a little bit of extra weight.
Olson recommends hiring a professional to remove both snow and ice, as well as to assess any damage. The possibility of frozen pipes is also something homeowners should be aware of.
Run your faucet at a trickle. The thickness of the stream for the trickle needs to be no thicker than the lead in a pencil. Other good things that you can do is leave cabinets open.
Leaving cabinets open allows water lines to get warm air from the home. But if your pipes do freeze,
if the freeze is thick enough and it endures long enough, then a water line can break, causing larger repair costs and more damage to the house.
you also want to make sure your heating is working and maintained properly.
Your furnaces, they do exhaust outside of the house, as do some gas water heaters. So making sure that ice and snow is free of any of those exhaust pipes outside of the house.
And if that snow and ice isn't removed, that leaves the chance for your furnace to shut down or spread carbon monoxide throughout the home. In Fargo, Nisha Taylor, Valley News Live.
New information out of Grand Forks, where police had asked the public to avoid the area surrounding the 200 block of North 6th Street, just a few blocks from Grand Forks Central High School earlier today. They say just before 1, officers were sent to the Hugos on Deemers for a report of a woman bleeding from the head, saying she'd been assaulted by a man. Officers tried to knock on the door to his house, ultimately got a search warrant to get inside. Grand Forks Regional SWAT team, bomb squad, and a canine unit all responded. No arrests were made after they did apprehend the man, but police say that situation is resolved.
New for you tonight at 10, the man accused of brutally killing a Fargo teen last summer now wants to withdraw his plea. 23-year-old Arthur Colley has put in a request to withdraw his Alford plea in connection to charges from the fatal stabbing of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson. An Alford plea is essentially a guilty plea where the defendant doesn't admit to committing the crime and maintains their innocence. It's typically used when someone lacks the evidence to support their case. Colley's accused of stabbing Jupiter dozens of times in the parking lot of a Fargo Party City back in June after reportedly taking meth. A hearing to determine if Colley can withdraw his plea will take place next month. His sentencing is set for February. City commissioners recently approved $1,000 appreciation bonuses for Fargo City employees, nearly 1,000 of them.
It amounts to almost $1 million in all, and it's all coming from federal COVID relief money. Kaylee Cella spoke to one commissioner who voted against it and joins us now with more. Kaylee.
That's right, guys. Thank you. Well, the commission voted overwhelmingly in favor of the bonuses, with just one commissioner, Tony Gehrig, voting it down. I spoke with him earlier today, and he told me the move wasn't just a, quote, dramatic mistake, but an inappropriate way to spend taxpayer money.
People in the public sector should not get bonuses. I don't understand bonuses, because it's not like the employer is saying, here's some of my money, thank you for doing a great job. I'm taking other people's money then.
Gehrig said there was not 1 year where commissioners have gotten everything that they've asked for in their budgets, and he added that as the liaison for the city's fire departments, he sees a specific need for a new fire station in South Fargo.
We have a fire station, Station 8 in South Fargo, we're trying to build, and that's going to protect the south side of Fargo, south of 60th Avenue, and it's long overdue actually. And that fire station is going to cost $6 to $9 million after it's all said and done, with building the building, equipping the building, getting fire trucks, hiring new folks to man that station. And we really have set aside nothing for it.
Now, Gehrig told me that the bonuses may have even been politically motivated, as there's an election coming up in just 8 months. Regardless, 967 Fargo City employees will be getting that $1,000 bonus. Stacey, Justin.
Hey, thanks, Kaylee. Later on Valley News Live at 10, a story you've got to see. A man takes drastic action after receiving the bill for his car repair.
And it's been cold today, and we're going to stay cold. Watch these purples and blues and blacks continuing to sink into our region. That's why we've got first alert weather days through Sunday morning. Coming up in your 7-day forecast, I'll let you know the coldest morning that's still yet to come. That's just a few minutes away.